Right now, OKC clinging to a lead here in game one of the finals.
The Knicks, Cleveland, Milwaukee are all telling the OKC fans, we told you so. This team is relentless. Doesn't matter what the lead or the score is.
Gilgeous-Alexander spins, pulls up, jumper. Off the mark, won't go. Rebound, Nesmith. The Pacers with a chance to win it. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. Tyrese Halliburton does it again. Indiana takes game one.
I don't think I'll ever get over that. Live from OKC, we say howdy, partner, to our NBA reporter, Tim MacMahon, in one of his many pairs of shoes. Losing like that last night probably has the Thunder sick. What did you hear from them after that loss?
Howdy, Christine. I thought Jalen Williams eloquently summed up the Thunder's outlook here when he said, well, it sucks. But we have been here before. This is a team a couple rounds ago, game one, right on this court against the Denver Nuggets, blew a 12-point lead in the fourth quarter. Aaron Gordon right there on the other side of the court hits that three-pointer to give the Nuggets a lead with 2.8 seconds left. How did the Thunder respond? They blew the Nuggets out in game two. They ended up winning that series in 7 games. That's an experience that they can draw from. And look, the Thunder, one of their sayings, one of the slogans of Thunder jargon is get back to zero after a game. Whether they win by 40-some, whether they lose with 0.3 of a second left, get back to zero. They don't allow emotion to carry over from game to game. And so they're down 0-1, but, you know, they have been here before.
Okay, so they're down back to zero right now. They have 2 days to try to do something different in game two. Should we expect this team to switch things up to try to win the second game of the series?
Oh, one thing they've got to do is the thing that they do best, and that is convert turnovers into points on the other end. This is a team that led the league in that category, almost 22 points per game, up to almost 24 points per game through the first few rounds of the playoffs. Forced 25 turnovers and only got 11 points out of that. Give the Pacers credit for their transition defense, but as Mark Daigneault said, they didn't get the juice they usually do from that squeeze. So that's something, look, their defense has fueled their offense all season long. They got the defensive part right in the first half, didn't fuel their offense, and that prevented them from blowing the Pacers out. If you don't blow the Pacers out, they're going to chip away, and you'd rather see the ghosts that haunt the Skirvin Hotel a couple blocks from here than Tyrese Halliburton with the ball in his hands and the game on the line.
I have been to that hotel, and I would also like to note that the Thunder, they're 4-0 after losses during this playoff run, so the tweaks that they make usually work. MacMahon has more on the Thunder on .com. Thank you. You already know what happened, but we're going to recap really fast. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers taking on SGA and the Thunder. We're going to start 3 minutes left in the game. Pacers down 9. Now entering Thursday, teams are 0-182 and trailing by 9 or more points in the final 3 minutes of an NBA Finals game since 1971. Nembhard makes it a 3-point ball game. Under 2 minutes remaining, Pacers down 3. Aaron Nesmith drives, blocked by Dort. On the other end, SGA takes it in himself, lays it in. Thunder up 5. Now less than a minute remaining in the game. Pacers down 3. Nembhard misses. Pascal Siakam, he's there. He cleans it up. 1-point ball game. Under 20 seconds to go. Thunder up 1. SGA misses the jumper. Pacers grab the board. On the other end, you already know who's going to get the ball in his hands. It's Hallie. What is he going to do? Pull up right there. Calls game. Obviously, he's excited. Pacers erase a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter. Take game one, 111-110. Everybody's yelling, what the Hallie just happened?
But, Christy, I don't know. There was Pacers slander all week going into the series, plus 700, blah, 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 blah. Lakers forward Markieff Morris and senior NBA writer Brian Windhorst joining us now. Markieff, I want to start with you. Walk us through what you saw from Halliburton and the Pacers down the final stretch.
I mean, I seen resiliency, the same thing I've been seeing this whole playoffs by these guys. They've been down 4 times, 15-plus in the fourth quarter, and made a run to win the game. Holly's hit multiple big-time shots in this series and the series before this. Quite frankly, if you ask me, they play better when they're behind. They start off really slow, and then towards the end of the game, they kind of pick up the pace. They pick up their shot quality. They pick up like how hard they are going, and their togetherness with anybody being able to make a big shot. You've seen over and over different guys make different type of shots late in the game to win games for these guys.
That's a great point, too. If you've got a team that has been there before in these situations where you have to come back, you almost feel confident that you can get the job done. They've done it all playoffs. They did it again last night. And, Wendy, you actually had a pregame conversation with someone about this potential outcome that rang true. What more can you share?
Yeah, in talking to Pacers personnel before the game, they said two things. One, they loved it that everybody was picking against them. Every time their logo was not put up on ESPN and in various shows, they smiled even bigger because they felt that it put them in a great position mentally. Secondly, while they admire the Thunder and admit that they have so many advantages and they're so difficult to play against, in late game tight situations, the Pacers have a better track record. They have just been more comfortable in those situations. And they flat out said, if we get into a spot where we have to execute down the stretch against them executing in the clutch, we feel like we can thrive in that spot. And that is exactly what happened. As the game got closer, you saw the Thunder tightening up, particularly offensively. Their players even admitted that they slowed down. They didn't play their pace. They got tight. They got stopped in the half court. And it was the Pacers who very methodically just walked them down. This was not a wild situation where one team choked and the other team didn't miss anything. This was a methodical march, and the Pacers have done it before. They knew they could do it before the game, and they did it on the court.
It was little by little. It wasn't some huge run. It was make a bucket, play defense, get back in the game. I don't think anyone watching didn't think Halliburton was going to make that. I audibly said this is going in because everyone knew that it was. And so, Wendy, I mean, what is it about this Pacers team that allows them to just keep climbing back all postseason?
Well, they have a bunch of different guys they can rely on. Look, if you're relying on one player, maybe he has a great game, maybe he doesn't. I mean, Halliburton has made these last-second shots without a question, but there's a lot of reasons why they made this comeback. They had nobody scored more than 19 points for them. They had 6 different guys scoring double figures. That's happened in almost all of their postseason wins. And they had Andrew Nembhard. You know, look, Halliburton was the hero. Andrew Nembhard was the difference maker, playing point guard on offense and guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on defense. Obi Toppin was brilliant down the stretch off of the bench. They had Aaron Nesmith was awesome rebounding the basketball, including getting the last rebound that set up the Halliburton shot. They get a lot of contribution, so they share the pressure and they share the execution.
Yeah, it is interesting, too. I mean, this sounds offensive. It's almost as if it's a team of role players, and each of them knows their role, and one of them has stepped up in each and every game this playoff postseason. And Markieff, now you look to the Thunder and adjustments they must make. What do you expect to see from the Thunder on Sunday night in terms of making an adjustment?
I mean, quite honestly, when you're winning the game, but for as long as they were winning, 0.3 seconds, not too much to make. If I had to nitpick, it would be one thing, and that's playing small. I don't think that works to the advantage of OKC. I think Indiana is a small team. They thrive at playing small because Pascal Siakam can play the 5. He can rebound. Then you have Obi Toppin, who's super athletic and can shoot an outside 3 too. So I think that puts them at a disadvantage, as you've seen late in the game when Pascal got an offensive rebound, and just not being able to have that threat of having an offensive rebounder or a shot blocker on the court for OKC. So if I had to nitpick, I would say playing small would be something they should adjust and not do. But other than that, man, you're winning the entire game. First half, you gave them 20 turnovers, and you basically was winning the game until the last 5 minutes.
Pacers had the lead once when it counted. I don't know how you make adjustments off that. So we'll see what happens. Boys, this is going to be a good series. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Want to try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm going to try to wear I pull up all brains. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the ESPN.